Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Tino Fest 1989. Back to do another video. Wow. I don't feel good right now. I'm sorry that I'm talking so low because I wasn't feeling too good. I was having a little headache, feeling dizzy because all that excitement from the Monday Night War between TNA and Monday Night Raw. I was like, wow. Starting off with TNA. Man, I was watching TNA, the whole Steel Asylum match. It was, wow, it was a great match, but too bad it ended up in a disqualification because of Homicide hit him with a nightstick, and I was like, oh man, I was going out great and all that stuff, but man, it came out short, and the shit is that Homicide came out and then whatever, and all of a sudden we hear a familiar song in TNA, which is the return of Jeff Hardy, the charismatic Enigma. And all of a sudden, Jeff Hardy comes. Homicide started beating him down and beating him down. And Jeff Hardy, all of a sudden, he hit him and all that stuff. Kicked him and did the twist of fate on the ramp. And then that's how it started. That's how it finished. And then Jeff Hardy ran backstage and gave Shannon Moore a high five. And that was pretty much what he did. And yeah, and all of a sudden, he's doing he came from a Lamborghini Diablo. Yeah, and that's how Jeff Hardy was very intense for this match and return to TNA. And yeah, continuing to that, there was another rival in TNA. It was by the limousine. I was riding a lot of limousines and a lot of police motorcycles, and it was going crazy. And all of a sudden, who showed up in that limo was none other. Wow, there's so many guys in TNA there that arrived. It was, man, so many. Oh yeah, X-Pac and Scott Hall. Sean Waltman came out backstage and shook one of those guys. Confirmed that they had to come in because they had something to do, and all of a sudden, X-Pac and Scott Hall they started beating. They was gonna beat them down and all that, and Mick Foley, the whole thing with Mick Foley in TNA earlier tonight, a segment with Christy Hemme, and Foley said that he couldn't come in, and the security officers they allowed him to come in, and yeah, and that's how it happened. And yeah, and all of a sudden there was hyping so much, and we seen the arrival of the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and I was like, whoa, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. I was like, what the fuck? Ric Flair, the 16-time world champion, has arrived in the limo, and I knew it was gonna be the Nature Boy. I like that. That's the most shocking shit I ever seen, and that's shocking right there, right now. And all of a sudden, Ric Flair came down the limo, was going in the locker rooms, and yeah. And then the whole thing with this match, the Terrell versus ODB. I was very disappointed with this match. I didn't thought this match was going short, but it actually went short. It was 2-minute match, and ODB ended up winning with a roll-up pin. I was so fucking mad because I didn't like the fact that they had to book the match with that. So yeah, I was like, wow, that's what we got. I thought this would be a better show than this. It was like, you could say this Impact was so rushing. They want to rush and all that stuff. Yeah, all of a sudden, continue on the strip poker knockouts. Yeah, with the beautiful people, Lacey Von Erich, Velvet Sky, and Madison's Rain started playing poker cards, and they were betting. They were doing a strip poker and all that stuff. And whoever wins, one of them gets to strip their shirt out and whatever. They're in this dark room and shit. playing the card or the table. Yeah, and that's how it is. And continue on the show. It was the Pope D'Angelo Dinero cutting a promo about he's talking about a lot about the whole thing with the match with Desmond Wolf, and all of a sudden who arrived a whole new look of Orlando Jordan with dreads on his hair. He has dreadlocks. Orlando Jordan came out telling telling him that you remind me of you. I kind of have the same that Orlando Jordan remind him of himself, that the Pope gimmick. The Angelo Dinero remind him Orlando Jordan has himself, and yeah, and that's how it. And all of a sudden, he told him to shake his hand, and D'Angelo Dinero didn't shake his hand and was looking at him weird and all that. Yeah, and all of a sudden, continue on that, it was Desmond Wolf versus D'Angelo Dinero, and Desmond Wolf. It was a good match, but D'Angelo Dinero ended up winning that match. And all of a sudden, it was another match. Matt Morgan and Hernandez against the the team of Matt Morgan and Hernandez versus wow, I was so much thinking in my mind. Wow, Matt Morgan and Hernandez versus
Dr. Stevie and
Dr. Stevie and Raven. Sorry that I wasn't feeling so good because too much thinking on both shows, WWE and TNA. Was having a major headache. I wasn't feeling good. I was nauseated. That's why I was too much thinking. I'm sorry that I was like this. I could have done better, but whatever, you know. Yeah, and all of a sudden, they end up winning that match, and yeah, that's how it started. And they go backstage, and people are attacked. Rhino, Bubba the Love, Bubba Sponge of Love, whatever his name is, make his TNA debut, talking about, he's like one of the backstage guys in TNA right now, saying what's going on and all that stuff. And yeah, and all of a sudden, there was another limo coming up, and that limo was Hulk Hogan. Eric Bischoff arrived to TNA, and all of a sudden, ever since Hogan appeared, he had the NWO remix song. It was an NWO knockoff of NWO, which he had that song in WCW, but he remixed it, and yeah, it was like, wow, Hulk Hogan in TNA finally arrived. Grew a beard, wearing all black. You know what that means. You know what that means. The band. And all of a sudden, Scott Hall and Scott Hall and Sean Woman was sitting down front row on ringside, looking at Hulk Hogan and all that. He was talking to Mike that he did that AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, the greatest wrestlers in TNA, and yeah, and they're gonna have a match tonight. They demand a match tonight, and all of a sudden, Scott Hall and Sean Woman came out and gave the mic to them, and they were talking about we're all brothers. And then Kevin Nash came, and then Eric Bischoff came. He arrived with an unfamiliar song. Eric Bischoff told him, he had the whole writing script, and I believe it was a Vince Russo writing script, and he ripped it apart. And this TNA is about change. It's gonna be a whole new TNA level, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. And TNA is gonna be up their heights, and let's just hope that TNA grows from there, And yeah, and all of a sudden, the next match was the next segment. It was a beautiful people, and all of a sudden, who appeared? The Big Balboski, Val Venus, from, if y'all don't know who that is, he was the ladies man from the WWE with a towel. Hello ladies, his catchphrase. And yeah, Val Venus appeared and they started playing strip poker and all that stuff. And it was just, it was not, I never was a fan of Val Venus. But, watching Val Venus back wrestling. Like, I don't really care about that. It's whatever.